So I'm Tim Daly. I'm the president of the Creative Coalition, and I'm really glad to be here. This is the 47th consecutive year I've spoken at this lunch. But it just seems that way. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, the Creative Coalition is an organization that was founded by prominent members of the arts and entertainment community who felt that we have a responsibility to use this unique platform that we have been given to do some social good and to motivate and educate and mobilize ourselves and our audiences around issues of public importance, primarily funding for arts and arts education, which is our core issue, and that's why we're here today. We believe that it is essential that every person, and especially every child in the United States, be exposed to and participate in the arts, not so that they can become professional artists, but because we know through observation and through data and through research that they will be more imaginative, more creative, more compassionate, more curious, kinder, more successful human beings. So we are here to protect, defend, and fight for our right to bear arts. It's funny, Dietrich and I were talking, and he was on Veep, and I discovered that Madam Secretary is the show that everybody wishes Washington was like, and Veep is the show which represents what it's actually like. We also discovered that we both stole suits from our respective TV shows. So, this is a quick aside. This has nothing to do with anything. I've got to tell the story about my sister. When I was a baby boy, I was starting acting. I did this George Bernard Shaw play called Arms and the Man, and I played a Russian soldier, ironically. And I had this great hat that I wore. And time came and saw the closing show. She was doing a play, I shit you not, ooh, my French, it slipped out, I'm practicing my French, at the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater.
Oh my God.
Anyway, she came and saw the show, and she said, Tim, you're great in the show, you gotta steal that hat. I said, Time, this is my first professional show, I'm not stealing the hat. She goes, listen to me, it is an actor's obligation to steal articles of their costume that they like. And I said, Time, I ain't stealing the hat, it's my first job, I don't want to get blackballed. So cut to about 7 years later, I'm making my Broadway debut, I'm at the party at Sardi's, it's all very thrilling and stuff, and there's a box, I open it up, what's in it? The hat. My sister stole the hat and waited for the appropriate moment and then bestowed it upon me. Anyway, so I'm going to just, sorry. I am going to read you something. I've been doing this for maybe a little bit too long, but the reason that I continue to be president of the Creative Coalition is because I'm still really passionate about arts education and about access to arts for every citizen in this country. And the National Endowment for the Arts, which a lot of people don't know, even people who are in Congress, gives money to every congressional district in this country. So I'm not so worried about New York and San Francisco and LA and Miami and the big cities. Their art scenes are thriving. But it's the smaller places around this country who otherwise wouldn't have exposure to music or theater or a museum or dance that really need the support of the NEA. And I will also say that as someone who believes in a, I will say, sane way in America first, that we are not close to being first at supporting our artistic community. For example, I learned from one of our members that in the UK, they spend $1.6 billion on their arts funding in a population of the fifth the size of the United States. We spend about 200 million. It's appalling. We really should be supporting arts in all our communities so that everyone and every child, as I said, has access to it. One of the things that strikes me is why are we here now talking about supporting arts at this moment in time when things seem so fraught, when there's so many problems and so much strife? And so I think that, that it seems to me like that we're at a particularly difficult moment, and sometimes I think, nah, you're just, you're in that, like, get those damn kids off my lawn phase of life, and everybody who's that old thinks that everything is going to hell in a handbasket. However, I think they kind of are in a more significant way. And so I came across this quote by someone who we lost last year, who was a significant artist and activist and musician, Harry Belafonte, who was an American treasure. And he said this. Oh, yeah, give him a hand. He said this: "Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's anchor. We are the compass for humanity's conscience. It is the artist who reveals the society to itself." And I think that's important because we are able to tell stories, and we are able to move people in a way that other forms of communication can't. And I think that it's vital that the Creative Coalition and the National Endowment for the Arts and any arts organization, especially any public arts organization, remember that they have the power to start dialogue, to change people's minds, to give people a new perspective. And I also think, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the arts, and especially the performing arts, are the only thing that I can think of specifically at this moment that teaches empathy. Now, people are going to roll their eyes because I've been self-promoting like shamelessly all day today because I'm doing a play in New York that you should all come see. But the interesting thing about this play, and one of the realizations I've had doing it, is that I am playing a person who I disagree with about a lot of things. And it's so important for me to play this part because it is my job to walk in this man's shoes, to understand what he is thinking and feeling. And I think that if more of us had the ability to be in a play or a pageant or something where we had to take the other person's point of view, we would have a much greater understanding of where we come from and a much greater compassion for all our feelings and all our needs and all our aspirations. So that's why now. Thank you. And other than that, I'd like to introduce our delegation because we got a lot of great people here. And from two sides, because as you may or may not know, the benefit of arts is not just for our spiritual, intellectual, emotional selves. It's also an incredible driver of our society and a really important economic boon to all of us. I will just digress briefly to say that when I first came down here to DC, I was given a briefing book, and one of the statistics that I read was that each dollar that the National Endowment for the Arts spends generates between 7 and 9 tax dollars into the federal government. And I was like, dude, we're done. I'd take those odds to Vegas today. And I thought everybody would sign up, and I couldn't figure out why. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So I implore all of you to help me and all of us figure out why our government is so afraid of supporting arts in an appropriate way. So get back to me. We'll deal with that. And without further ado, here's who we are. I'm Tim Daly, Lauren Ash, Diedrich Bader, David Cross, John Clark. Stand up. Midori Francis, DeLay Hill, Brendan Hunt, Jason Babbitt, Joseph Lee, Dylan William, Yvette Nicole Brown, Jamel Tillman, and some of our corporate people are Amanda Goodspeed, Christina Carlson, Lori Winkler, Lisa Joyner, Rob O'Neill, Jacqueline Barnett, John Levitt, Brian Collins, Kelsey Rogers, Michael Newman, Emily Glassman, Barb Catron? Am I saying it right?
Yes. Don't forget
I won't know. Laura Vogel, Howard Upchurch, and John Perfura. Thank you all. Go out there and help us. I enlist all of you to fight for our right to bear arts. And remember that it's possible. It's possible. We can do this. And come see my play. Thanks.